and that your independence will be our victory. Slava Ukraini et vive le Canada!
Slava Ukraine. Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada was there in Ukraine celebrating with President Zelensky 34 years since Ukraine declared independence, while Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are showing what bootlickers they are back in the United States of Vladimir Putin. Canada is showing that it will always be a friend of Ukraine. It will always stick up for Ukraine. And to see Prime Minister Carney there and symbolically Canada there destroying Donald Trump in the United States in Ukraine on its anniversary, showing courage was something very special to watch. Let me show you part of this incredible speech that was given by Prime Minister Carney. Let's play this clip.
Mr. President, it is an honor to join you on this day of remembrance, of pride, and of hope. And it's poignant to do so in Sofia Square, the location of so many of Ukraine's battles for liberty and celebrations of the freedom that you have won. It's humbling to stand before so many courageous women and men who have devoted themselves to this great nation. And being here imparts a solemn duty to be here at a time when your independence, your sovereignty, and your freedoms still hang in the balance. Mr. President, dear friends, my message today is simple. Canada will always stand in solidarity with Ukraine. And Canada will always be with you, so your many sacrifices lead to the peace, security, and prosperity that all Ukrainians, that all peoples deserve. Canada is under no illusions about the importance of your struggle. And you should have no doubts about the commitments of Canadians to your cause. Because your cause, freedom, democracy, sovereignty, is our cause. And your history informs our history. Today, I come here with the honor of leading Canada's new government, and I commit that Canada will remain by Ukraine's side in your fight for independence, sovereignty, and freedom, and that we will be there with you to promote peace, security, and prosperity for Ukraine once the killing stops. We joined others in enacting new sanctions against thousands of Russian entities and hundreds of Russia's foreign enablers of this brutal war. At that same G7, Canada pledged an additional $2 billion in military assistance. And today I'm proud to announce that over $1 billion of that support will be used to strengthen your arsenal with urgently needed drones, ammunition, armored vehicles, material that will arrive next month. We'll also fund the joint production of defense material, including advanced drones from Canadian suppliers. And we'll provide tens of millions of new funding to support emergency medical and shelter assistance, initiatives to strengthen local democracy, including to counter digital attacks.
And Prime Minister Carney of Canada is very clear who started the war, who continues the war, and who continues to want death and destruction. His name is Vladimir Putin. And Prime Minister Carney says, if we exert pressure, we can continue to isolate Putin and win this thing. Stop giving Putin more power than he deserves. A clear message to Donald Trump here. Play this clip.
Putin has broken his word repeatedly from Minsk to this morning. Putin has caused this terrible tragedy that has claimed the lives of millions. Putin menaces your skies, threatens your cities, destroys your fields. Putin has stolen your children. But Putin can be stopped. Russia's economy is weakening. He is becoming more isolated.
And what a powerful end to the speech by Prime Minister Carney. One of the most powerful speeches I've ever watched. So it's an honor for me to share this with you. Let's play this clip.
When peace comes, we must fortify Ukraine by rebuilding your cities, expanding your industries, developing your resources, and creating the foundations for true prosperity. And when that peace comes, and it will come, that day will come, Canada will be there. To close, Mr. President, in the last of those paintings I referred to, those Kurolik paintings, the one with the Ukrainian farmer amidst a Canadian field of plenty, a keen eye can see in the distance a mushroom cloud, a bomb. It's a reminder that peace, when it comes, can never be taken for granted. And it's a reminder to Canadians that we are connected, that your fight is our fight, that your struggle is our cause, and that your independence will be our victory. Slava Ukraini, et vive le Canada!
Then Prime Minister Carney toured defense factories and other industry developments taking place in Ukraine with Zelensky and other industry leaders. President Zelensky writes, "Today, together with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, we saw the latest Ukrainian developments. These are weapons and equipment being created here in Ukraine to protect our state. I thank everyone involved in this work. We are developing our own production, and this is important." It's a clear message being sent to Donald Trump, who we know is holding Ukraine hostage. We've learned even more information today from a new exclusive by the Wall Street Journal that the United States, since the spring, has been prohibiting Ukraine from using any long-range American missiles against Russia. A guy by the name of Colby Elbridge, a right-wing MAGA extremist who Donald Trump put in that position to do just that, has instituted that policy. Zelensky goes on to say, "I also met with defense ministers from partner countries who came to us on Independence Day. This is a great sign of solidarity with our warriors and with the entire Ukrainian people. We discussed the importance of developing Ukraine's defense industry, cooperation in various formats, and security guarantees for Ukraine, which are important both for the future of our state and for the security of all of Europe. Thank you for your support and readiness to continue working for the security of our country." Then you had the Prime Minister of Sweden deliver this message about Ukraine's Independence Day, saying Sweden stands strongly with Ukraine. Here, play this clip.
My dear Ukrainians, today we celebrate Ukraine's freedom and independence. It is an occasion to honor the brave men and women who defend that freedom every day against Russia's unlawful aggression. Sweden stands by Ukraine, and we will continue to support you militarily, politically, and financially. Friends, happy Independence Day and Slava Ukraini.
Now, there were messages like that from all different world leaders, notably no message from Donald Trump, no message from J.D. Vance, although I guess J.D. Vance did give a message. J.D. Vance praised Donald Trump during an interview with Meet the Press for Donald Trump not being able to say who started the war in Ukraine. The answer is Russia. And J.D. Vance basically saying that he was not worried that Russia has been striking American assets like an American factory in Ukraine. Can you get any weaker than that? You had Sergei Lavrov, Russia's foreign minister, give an interview with American press on Meet the Press. Lavrov is Putin's right hand. Lavrov's the guy who went to the Alaska failed summit wearing the SSR, the USSR shirt, to show that Russia's intentions are imperial in nature and to mock Donald Trump when he went there by wearing the USSR. Kristen Welker, I think she did a good interview here. She asked him a very basic question. Did Russia invade Ukraine? This is what he says. Here, play this clip.
Did Russia invade Ukraine, Mr. Foreign Minister? Did Russia invade Ukraine?
Russia started special military operation to defend the people whom Zelensky and his predecessor did not consider as humans. They called them beings, species. You should look. You should really. I understand that you need something to sell today, but if you are raising and touching upon so serious things, my suggestion is to take a look at the history of Ukrainian development after the coup in 2014.
But it's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question, Mr. Foreign Minister. Do you acknowledge Russia invaded Ukraine?
I said to you that we started special military operation
So, yes.
to protect the people whom the regime declared terrorists and enemies and whom the regime was bombing.
And so where Russia refuses to even acknowledge that it was the invading force and they say, oh, it was a special operation to liberate Ukraine from its current government, there's no way you're negotiating with this people. What do you think they told Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio and all of these people behind this? What do you think they're saying? All right, as frequent viewers of the MeidasTouch Network know, I'm a huge fan of our partners at Chapter who help seniors select the best Medicare plans for their specific situation. They've helped many of our viewers of this channel save money and get better medical care. One regular viewer named Kevin in Florida was struggling with high out-of-pocket costs due to his pre-existing conditions. Chapter helped him enroll in a plan that saves him, get this, $2,100 a year. They saved another MeidasTouch fan, Steven, hundreds a month by finding a better plan that covered his dialysis treatment. And the best part, it's totally free. You just give them a call at 82-Medicare and they'll see if you're in the best plan for your individual needs. If so, they'll let you know. If not, they'll help you find and enroll in something better. It's easy and it's quick. They can review your options in less than 20 minutes. So if you're turning 65 or already on Medicare, but not sure if your plan has the best offer for you, call them today at 82-Medicare and share your experience in the comments below. That's 82-Medicare. And you can see what all our fans are raving about. It's Chapter 82-Medicare. Here, Sergei Lavrov also says, we have no meeting plans with Zelensky at all. We need the conditions to be right. And for Lavrov, that means that Zelensky needs to be gone and the Ukrainian government needs to be toppled before there's a meeting between Russia and Ukraine. Here, play this clip.
There is no meeting planned. Putin is ready to meet with Zelensky. When the agenda would be ready for a summit. And this agenda is not ready at all. Zelensky said no to everything. He even said no to, as I said, to canceling legislation prohibiting the Russian language. How can we meet with a person who is pretending to be a leader?
And then you'll recall that J.D. Vance gave that interview with Meet the Press, where Vance said that Russia's made significant concessions. Meanwhile, Lavrov says he won't even meet with the Ukrainians because Zelensky isn't a legitimate president. So this is what we've always said on the MeidasTouch Network, and our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, reiterates it here. What the regime says to the American people about Russia's position is far different than what Russia's saying. Now, here is Sergei Lavrov again, and Sergei Lavrov acknowledges that Russia is attacking American assets on purpose in Ukraine, like an American electronics factory called Flex in the Zaporizhzhia region. Here, play this clip.
This week, Russia bombed an American-owned factory near the Hungarian border. I've spoken to people who frankly see that as a slap in the face to President Trump, to the entire peace process, isn't it?
Well, I would say that those who are sincerely interested in understanding what is going on should know by now that never ever Russia deliberately targeted any sites which are not linked to military abilities of Ukraine.
This is an electronics
It's only-
factory, though, sir. This is an electronics factory. I've spoken to people on the ground there. It builds coffee machines, among other electronics. This is not a military site.
Well, I understand that some people are really naive, and when they see a coffee machine in the window, they believe that this is the place where coffee machines are produced. Our intelligence has very good information. And we target only, as I said, either military enterprises, military sites, or industrial enterprises directly involved in producing military equipment for Ukrainian army.
All right, now you would expect that if Russia is bragging about attacking American factories, that you would expect the Vice President of the United States to have a strong message, right? Nope, because J.D. Vance is weak. In contrast to the Prime Minister of Canada, J.D. Vance is asked by Kristen Welker, "Are you enraged? Russia attacked an American factory in Ukraine on purpose. Does that make you upset?" Here's what he says. Play this clip.
Were you enraged when you learned that Russia targeted an American company based in Ukraine?
I don't
Was
like
that not
it,
a slap
Kristen.
in the face
I
to the
don't.
peace
I don't
process?
like it, Kristen. But this is a war, and this is why we want to stop the killing. The Russians have done a lot of things that we don't like. A lot of civilians have died. We've condemned that stuff from the get-go, and frankly, President Trump has done more to apply pressure and to apply economic leverage to the Russians, certainly than Joe Biden did for 3.5 years when he did nothing but talk, but do nothing to bring the killing to a stop.
And then J.D. Vance says what he really admires about Donald Trump is that Donald Trump refuses to say who started the war. Those nitpicky things. That's what J.D. Vance says. You know, those nitpicky things like who started the war. Donald doesn't want to get involved in that. Here, play this clip.
Again, have they made every concession? Of course they haven't. Should they have started the war? Of course they haven't. But we're making progress, Kristen. And what I admire about the president in this moment is he's not asking 3.5 years ago. He's not, trying to focus on every nitpicky detail of how this thing started 3.5 years ago. He's trying to focus on the nitpicky details of now, of what do the parties disagree on, what do they agree on, and how do you build a foundation from one side of that ledger to the other so that you can stop the killing.
Contrast that with Prime Minister Carney walking into Ukraine, being by the Wall of Remembrance, being there with the Ukrainian military, right? That's what's going on there, while Donald Trump is sending the United States military against blue states. Zelensky writes, "A place of remembrance and deep reverence. Here are the names of those who gave their lives for our independence of freedom. Today, together with the First Lady, Zelensky, and Prime Minister of Canada, Mark Carney, we honor the fallen defenders of Ukraine at the Wall of Remembrance." Here, play this clip. And here are people singing for Independence Day in the Kharkiv metro station. Just even watch this tiny boy right there. Here, play this clip, sing. And so while you have those brave Ukrainians there in the metro station, while Kharkiv is under attack, singing for Ukraine, while you have Prime Minister Carney of Canada showing strength, you have J.D. Vance giving those interviews, and here's what Donald Trump did on Friday, right before Ukrainian Independence Day. Play this clip.
And I was just sent a picture from somebody that wants to be there very badly. He's been very respectful of me and of our country, but not so respectful of others. But I'm going to sign this for him, but I was sent one, and I thought you'd all like to see it. That's a man named Vladimir Putin, who I believe will be coming, depending on what happens. He may be coming and he may not, depending on what happens. We have a lot of things happening over the next couple of weeks. But I thought it was a nice picture of him. Okay of me, but nice of him. So that was very nice that it was sent to me. Okay?
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.